Sure. Sorry, she's in a little bit of pain, extra pain from the broken pelvis, so there's going to be a little bit of oohs and ahs coming from the peanut gallery today.
I'll try to keep it on the down low.
Yeah, pipe down over there. What do you think, you got a broken pelvis or something?
Right.
All right, everybody, we're on Revelation 11.
Yay.
And I did a little bit of extra research beforehand. I'm sure I forgot all of it, so I'm sure I'm going to mess it all up. But here we go.
All right.
And they read, okay, so this is, we're getting into where Elohim is like, look, I need to do some remodeling. John, I heard you're a carpenter. Go take some measurements. John's like, wasn't your son a carpenter? And Elohim's like, oh, that's right. Where is Jesus? He's out like at Starbucks or something, I don't know where he is. So
Stop drinking his coffee.
yes. All right, so 11. And a reed, like a measuring rod, was given to me, and the messenger stood, saying, rise and measure the dwelling place of Elohim and the slaughter place and those worshiping in it. But cast out the court which is outside the dwelling place, and do not measure it, for it has been given to the nations, and they shall trample the set-apart city underfoot for 42 months. Now, what he's saying here is...
Is that the 3.5?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what he's saying is, people, remember, measurement, we're not just talking about numbers here. Measurement as in measuring us, as in searching us. Like when he says he searches our kidneys, he searches our heart, basically what we're made of. And what he's saying is the people in the dwelling place of Elohim and the slaughter place are worthy of worship. He searched their hearts. He knows them. He knows us. And who is it? It's Israel. It's us. And people who were grafted in Israel. So, and the people, the nations, the rest of the nations, he's like, don't bother with them. I've already searched them. Don't bother measuring them. They're not worth it. He's saying, again, the chosen people, Israel, Genesis, which is Genesis 32, and Israel, you're grafted in, which is Romans 11:16, and then 1 Peter 2:21. Let's just hop on over there. Just read it real quick.
Okay.
For this you were called, because Messiah also suffered for us, leaving us an example that you should follow in his steps. So, God's chosen people, how we're grafted in, what you should do, act like Yeshua, and how exactly do you follow. So you see the progression here. These are the steps. So, and then how do you follow his footsteps? You don't get to make this up, okay? You don't just go, well, I'm a nice guy. It doesn't work like that. What do you do to be like Yeshua? Well, guess what? He kept the law. He wore tzitzit. He kept the old feasts. He didn't sin. He kept the Sabbath, etc., etc. So, real quick, what did he say? Matthew 5:17. And this one is the one that just puts the death knell. This is the final blow for churchianity and how they're always screaming that we don't have to follow the law. Oh, it's the spirit of the law. No, it's not. He never says it's the spirit of the law. If you twist Paul, maybe you can get that, but it's not. And the kid is going to be.
Sorry, the kid's gone.
Matthew 5:17. Do not think that I came to destroy the Torah or the prophets. I did not come to destroy, but complete. And that doesn't mean complete as in they're done, get them out of here. As in play
Does that mean like complete
the word Hebrew is plerao, or whatever, and that means to embody, which makes sense. Remember, he came back to show people they were falling away because the Pharisees were adding and subtracting from Elohim's perfect law. So they were a stumbling block for the people to get into heaven. Yeshua came back. They were so bad, in fact, that the Lord's like, well, I better do this now. I got a plan. I'm going to enact it now. Comes down, and he's always riding the Pharisees. That's the main antagonist. Because they had their oral traditions, they had their law, and they were adulterating God's perfect law. So when he comes down, he's like, don't think it's my... And again, the church is forever telling us that God doesn't change, and he doesn't in that particular way. He can change his mind. But then they're trying to say, well, he got rid of his own perfect law. But then on the other side of their mouth, they're trying to say he never changes. Doesn't make sense. He's come to show them, again, what to do. Here's my law, people. You've got it written down. Here's how you live it. This is exactly what he did. Don't let anybody else complicate it or twist it or just try to sit there as a self-help sermon and scream that he loves you for an hour. He came down to remind us all that his law is still in play. Because in another one he says, I should bust that out, as long as the earth and, I think it's in John, as long as the earth and the heaven are still here, and last time I checked they are, at least the earth, not the smallest part of the Torah is going away, okay?
Didn't he kind of come to like expand and show us what it looks like
To live
actually
it,
out the
yeah,
law?
embody it.
Yeah.
It shows you how to live it. So again, this is like the end for churchianity.
Yeah, I would say so.
It's just, I'm sorry I preach on this so much, but it's just disgusting that they're leading people astray so badly. And just to, kind of further prove it, this is what the Pharisees were doing. Revelations 22:18.
I'm sorry.
Where are we here?
I have to move.
For I witness to everyone hearing the words of the prophecy of this book. If anyone adds to them, Elohim shall add him to the plagues that are written in this book. And if anyone takes away from the words of the book of this prophecy, Elohim shall take away his part from the book of life and out of the set-apart city, which are written in this book. So not only does
Where is
Yeshua
that
say
from?
it, Revelation 22:18. So not only does Yeshua say it in the New Testament, Elohim says it in the Old Testament. Do not mess with my law. So why is he so concerned? Jeez, baby. Well, you're right. You sure? I got you. Find a comfortable spot. I
That's
feel
what
bad.
I was trying to do. Is
Okay.
move. I had to
Jeez, I feel bad.
I'm sorry, guys. I don't
You
mean to be
destroyed
distracting.
it. So anyway, why would he be so concerned with a law that he got rid of? And remember, this is all New Testament stuff. So who his chosen people are, how we're grafted in, how do what he said. Do what I did. Here's how.
Okay.
That's it. That's it in a nutshell. Okay, so let's keep going here.
All right.
And I shall give unto my two witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clad in sackcloth. And I guess there's some conjecture as to, some people believe, I think most people, think that's Elijah and Moses.
Oh, yeah.
Now, who really knows? We don't know for sure. Some people say it's Enoch. I think Elijah is the one that's the most set in stone. Some people either argue Moses and Enoch. And I got to remember, Moses and Elijah were on the mount of, with the hill with the transfiguration, where Yeshua kind of got his white hair really quick and had the white robes, and they saw him. Yep. And then remember, Moses is the one. Enoch never, worked with water or spread plagues. Moses did. So, I
guess we'll find out.
Whatever you think, I kind of think I kind of go with Moses and Elijah, but
Me too.
These are the two olive trees, probably representing Israel and Judah, and the two lampstands that are standing before the Elohim of this earth, the earth. And if anyone wishes to harm them, fire comes out from their mouth and consumes their enemies. And if anyone wishes to harm them, he has to be killed in that way.
Oh,
now again, I know we're talking about metaphor, but again, I am a Bible literalist. So even in metaphor, a good way to kind of slice through, like, what's this really saying? Well, unless it's just all out, like, really weird imagery, like the scorpions and the faces of mans and eagles and mouths on their tails, which it still could be that, God's got some pretty crazy things that's described up in heaven. I'm going to say, hey, they breathe fire from their mouth. And everybody's like, well, that's weird. You can't do that. Like, remember, just because he made us kind of in his image doesn't... Remember, his ways are not like ours. And if you think he's not capable of that, then I don't know what to tell you. He's capable of anything.
Yep.
And these two possess the authority to shut the heavens so that no rain falls in the days of their prophecy. Well, who did that? Elijah. And they possess authority over waters to turn them to blood. And to
Moses did that.
Yep, and so again, Moses, God, or Elijah, and they possess authority over the waters to turn them to blood and to smite the earth with all plagues. Moses, as often as they wish. Well, again through God.
Yep.
Again, Elijah through God. And when they have ended their witness, the beast coming up out of the pit of the deep shall fight against them and overcome them and kill them. And their dead bodies lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom in Egypt, where also our master was impaled, which was in Jerusalem. So, a lot of weird stuff is going on there. And some of the peoples and tribes and tongues and nations see their dead bodies for 3.5 days and not allow their dead bodies to be placed into tombs. And those dwelling on the earth rejoice over them and exult. And they shall send gifts to each other because these two prophets tortured those dwelling on the earth. So they're going to have a dead prophets party because they, they were getting their asses kicked by these two. But now they finally are dead, and so they're all happy. Because, these people are the people that, after seeing all the trumpet blasts and all that, they still haven't been convinced that God's in control. They still haven't bent their knee, and they still haven't confessed. So they're all happy. Except, dun dun dun. And after the 3.5 days, a spirit of life from Elohim entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell on those who saw them. Rightfully so.
Yeah,
Yeah, and they heard a loud voice from the heavens saying to them, "Come up here." Kind of said the way he says it is kind of like, he's like, "Come up here." You yell at your kids or something. Like they were down there playing in traffic, and he's like, "Come up here."
Yes.
And they went up into the heaven in a cloud, and their enemies saw them. And in that hour there came to be a great earthquake, and 1/10 of the city fell. You got some Matthew 24 imagery there. I won't go back and read it. You can if you want. And in the earthquake, 7,000 men were killed, and the rest became afraid and gave esteem to Elohim of the heavens. So finally, some of these people are starting to go, well, there's no denying it anymore, I don't know what took them this long, but here we are. The second woe is past, and see, the third woe is coming speedily.
Oh, jeez.
Man, he's talking about bad.
Oh.
So we got the third woe over there.
Yeah, I was like, that was right on time.
Yeah. And the seventh messenger sounded, and there came to be loud voices in the heaven, saying, "The reign of this world has become the reign of our master and his Messiah, and he shall reign forever and ever." Luke 22:19. Kind of, my brain farting right now. And the 24 elders sitting before Elohim of their thrones fell on their faces and worshipped Elohim. What does it? How did I forget that? Let's go back to Luke 22:29. I'm sorry. Let me see what that says.
What did you forget?
I wrote Luke 22:29, but I didn't put any, I didn't summarize why to go there. Oh, here we go. To eat and drink at my table in my reign, and to sit on thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, so it just ties it in with Luke 20. So it's, remember, the loud voice saying the reign of this world has become the reign of the master and his Messiah. And they're talking about how we will sit at his table, the reign. It's talking about the reign.
The reign,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Saying, we give you thanks, O Yahweh, El Shaddai, the one who is, and who was, and who is coming, because you have taken your great power and reigned. And the nations were enraged. So those people still, in defiance. And at that point, I have to believe that those are just the devil's children. The Revelation 2:9 and 3:9 and John 8, the ones that just aren't going to.
They're not budging.
Your wrath is come, and the time of the dead is to be judged. And got some Daniel 12:1 there. In fact, should we go back and read Daniel 12:1? Because we'll keep reading. And to give the reward to your servants, the prophets and the set apart ones, and to those who fear your name, small and great, and to destroy those who destroy the earth. So, once again, I forgot to summarize this. So I got Daniel 12:1 and 2, I think it is, if I remember, and then Revelation 22:12. I was just there. Let's see what the Revelation 22:12 says, how that ties in. I really got to memorize this better. Sorry, everybody, I'm trying to memorize this better. And see, I am coming speedily, and my reward is with me to give each according to his work. I am the Aleph and the Taw, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Okay, so this just, again, flies in the face, again, of churchianity, proving you will be judged by your works. Yes, because this is talking about, here we go, how your wrath is coming, the time of the dead to be judged. See, everybody's going to be called up. Everybody's going to awaken and be judged.
Yep.
Now, how do you, yes. Now, I am coming. Now, what's your reward? Well, guess what? First off, the only way, again, you're getting into heaven, not through works, we know.
Right.
You got to accept Jesus as your Savior and all that. But you still will be judged as your works afterwards, as it says in James. You know, if you see your brother naked and you just say, peace be with you, and walk away and you don't clothe him, guess what? You're in trouble. That faith without works is death. Now, whatever that means to you, does that mean he's going to kick you out? I don't know. Does that mean you're just going to be like a janitor in heaven? I don't know. But one thing is for certain, it says, especially in Revelation, it's over the whole book, but in Revelation, I've shown you, read each chapter. Works is mentioned, I think, in pretty much every one, except the last couple. Yeah. And see, I'm to reward me to give each according to his work. And beginning, blessed are those doing his commands, keeping the law. So you're doing work and keeping the law. As remember, his commands. If you love me, keep my commands, the law. There's no doubt here. Again, there's no doubt that churchianity twists this stuff. If your church does this and tells you don't have to keep the law, you don't have to do works, if you celebrate Christmas, Easter, and especially Halloween, you need to run. Okay, so
that was bad.
It sounded like it. And Revelation, your servants being the set apart ones, Revelation 14:12. Let's see what that one says.
Did we finish 11?
Almost.
Okay.
Here is the endurance of the set apart ones. Here are those guard there once again. He tells you. Remember, this isn't, you took that out of context. No, it is everywhere in this book.
I mean, it honestly does seem like it's pretty
It's
straightforward.
everywhere. Here is the endurance he's telling you, set apart ones, the saints, us. Here are those guarding the commands of Elohim and the belief of Yeshua. So you are following the law and you accept Yeshua as your Savior. That's it. That's it. That's how you do it. None of this, brother, he just loves you and that's it. You don't have to do anything else. I mean, again, I made a video of this and it was a pretty strong video. Pissed some people off, I'm sure, but the modern churchianity, like whispering into like people's ears, Christians' ears, is almost the same as, is almost the same as the devil in the Garden of Eden, when he's like, did God really say you die if you ate that fruit? Did he really say that? The churches in the pastures, did God really say we have to follow his law to a T? Really? I mean, probably we kind of can, it's spirit of the law, because, he died. And we're covered by his blood, that means covers everything, there's no difference in my mind. You can argue all you want, but with that example, how can you argue that, 14:12, and let's see. Let's keep going here. Let's just then we'll go to 12. We'll go to Daniel. Your service prophets set apart ones, and those who fear your name, small and great, and to destroy those who destroy the earth. And the dwelling place of Elohim was opened in the heaven, and the ark of his covenant was seen in his dwelling place. And there came to be lightnings and voices and thunders and an earthquake and great hail. So again, we got temple imagery here. Remember a couple of chapters ago, it says his throne and the slaughter place. Actually, is in the beginning of this chapter too. Again, someone from churchianity better run up there and tell them we don't do that anymore. It's slaughterings and all that and giving thanks and offerings. Well, someone should tell him that, because apparently up in heaven that stuff's still going to go on, or else why would I doubt it's a museum piece. Baster, man. It's really, yeah, she tried baking some bread today and doing a little too much because, you know, she's stubborn, okay?
Let's just be honest. Like,
and she wants to, like,
still want to
do
live a
stuff.
normal life.
But, you know, when you got a broken pelvis, you're supposed to rest and you're supposed to just take it easy. And it's hard for someone who's pretty industrious. She's high up in the industrious. You know, if you know anything about psychology.
Well, yesterday I kind of overdid it last night.
You know,
with trying to make some stuff, and then
So okay, so
here we are.
Yes, and who's and ahs. So let's check out really quick now that we finished 11. Let's just take a walk on over to Daniel. Let's see, Daniel 12. Daniel 12. Oh, I will never find this.
Little poops.
So Daniel 12. What's that, Dan? Let me see if I can. Oh, maybe. I can never figure out how these things work. I know I'm a dumb.
What, the tabs?
Yeah.
I know.
Isaiah, Jeremiah. Oh, maybe.
Daniel, I think, is after Jeremiah.
Yeah, well, then the tabs work, and I'm just a dumb. Jeremiah. I forgot how long Jeremiah was. Oh, no, Ezekiel. But.
Well, no, I didn't mean like directly after Jeremiah, but it's...
Oh, no, it's after Ezekiel. Then it's, I think, Daniel. So
okay.
you were just off by one, I think. That's what the tab says anyway.
Oh.
Here we go.
Oh,
good job.
right.
Yeah, be sure you're on it. So was it Daniel? No, I forgot. Was it Daniel 14? I think it's Daniel 12.
Why do I feel like Daniel 12?
I think it was Daniel 12. Man, my brain's broken. Daniel 12:1. Well, we're going to find out in 1 second here. No.
No?
Okay. Let me go back over here. I don't think so anyway. Unless I wrote it down wrong. Daniel. Production value. Daniel 12:1. Yeah, why did I... nations were enraged. Maybe I just... Rain was feeding on the wind and pursuing an east wind, and all day increases... Maybe it was Daniel 12:12.
You could look there. See what it says.
Yeah. I'm sorry, buddy. I must have goofed this one. I'll have to figure out why I put that there. Anyway, so that was that. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got some education. And I hope you are, again, reading this for yourself. Don't rely on me. Don't rely on your pastor. Don't rely on anybody else who isn't going to be with you. You know, at the end of the age, when you're down on your knees, when your shoe is going to be there with you. And like I've said before, when he looks at you and goes, "Hey, well, did you actually read my book for yourself?" He's like, on average, people get about 70 years. You couldn't just do it once, and you're gonna feel really sheepish when you look at him and try to go, "Well, I was kind of busy." What are you gonna say, right? So do yourselves a favor and read it for yourself. If you have any questions or want further clarification, I guess you can try to hit me up and I'll try to help. But I highly recommend going to Bear Independent YouTube channel. And he reads the Bible like I do, only he does a much better job at describing all of it. I'm just trying to do my part. So if for some reason you see, you happen across my videos instead of his, at least you've got eyes on, and then, I can lead you to him. So have a great day and peace out.
Right.